pranam at the feet of Sri Ramakrishna, Mother Sharda Devi, and Swami Vivekananda. I offer my heartfelt pranams to all of you. As in the last Saturday satsang, I introduced Hanuman Chalisa and wanted to enter into the details of Hanuman Chalisa. So we will again continue the same thing. I will introduce a little more of Hanuman Chalisa, then go to the different verses. To begin with, let me take you through the origin, the history of Hanuman Chalisa. Hanuman Chalisa, the 40 verses, exactly to tell 43, long hymn devoted to Lord Hanuman, was composed in the 16th century by Tulsi Das, the great Indian devotee, poet and author, a great saint. The legend goes that Tulsi Das wrote Hanuman Chalisa after the then emperor, Mughal emperor Akbar, imprisoned him. Hanuman Chalisa is a well-known hymn and prayer that devotees of Lord Hanuman and Ramachandra know it by heart. Known as the dispeller of evil and the bringer of happiness is Hanuman. This is from the time when a large part of India was ruled, especially the northern portion of India, was ruled by Mughal Emperor Akbar. Folklore suggests that there was a time when Tulsi Das ji, known for his devotion to Lord Ramachandra, was invited by Akbar to come to his court. Why? Because he wanted to see the miracle performed by Tulsi Das. While a widowed lady, when her husband passed away, in her grief, when husband had just died, she ran to Tulsi Das to take her blessings. Tulsi Das unknowingly took the name of Lord Ramachandra and blessed her husband long life. Now she told, my husband has died. I don't know. Lord Rama has made me to speak, so I'm not aware of it. And suddenly, miraculously, her husband came back to life. So such things spread very fast like wildfire. But Tulsi Das, the great saint, was not after miracles, because miracles are not good for spiritual life. It is only used as a beginning so that you can come towards spiritual life, but miracles won't help you. We have to be steady in spiritual life, gaining purity of our mind and doing sadhana regularly. That takes us forward in spiritual life. Now, Tulsi Das was not interested in all those miracles. It happened by the will of Lord Ramachandra. But when the news reached Akbar, he wanted to see how he performed the miracle, and he asked him, come to my court and perform this miracle. Tulsi Das ji refused to bow to him, and this angered Akbar. Annoyed by Tulsi Das' action, Akbar ordered him to put in the prison at Fatehpur Sikri fort. It was during this imprisonment that Tulsi Das wrote Hanuman Chalisa. It is believed that he was in the prison for 40 days and he wrote a verse per day of the Chalisa, day after day, one day at a time. There is another version wherein he chanted the hymn for 40 days. The miracle, however, happened on the 40th day. It is said that on the 40th day, when Hanuman Chalisa was completed, suddenly, from nowhere, in the palace and the fort of Akbar, an army of monkeys attacked the court and city and started to create havoc. How can anybody stop the monkeys? The rioting monkeys would not stop, and nothing seemed to help. It was then suggested to Akbar that it was due to Tulsidas' prayer. All this has happened because you have troubled a saint. If you apologize, release him, and ask him for forgiveness, so this problem will stop. Folklore suggests that Akbar then went to Tulsidas and apologized for his imprisonment and freed him, and also requested him to take back the monkey army attacking him. Tulsidas now prayed to Lord Hanuman. He knew it was all the work of Lord Hanuman. And again, miraculously, all the monkeys left the premises. Then Tulsidas ordered Akbar to leave Fatehpur Sikri, which the emperor agreed upon. So that is the origin of Hanuman Chalisa. Till date, people believe in the power of these verses. Each of the 40 couplets have a strong attribution to the many facets of Lord Hanuman and his undaunted devotion to Lord Ramachandra. It is said to bestow the blessings of Hanumanji on those who chant it just the way it did its creator Tulsidas. Now, if we explore this Hanuman Chalisa, this popular religious work, through which a Hindu deity, that is Hanuman, who himself was a great devotee of Lord Ramachandra, it is now both of them are made accessible to the common mass. Earlier, religion at the highest in the form of Veda mantra and everything was easily accessible only to the rich and also to the educated and the elite. But now it was the desire of Tulsidas ji in this Hanuman Chalisa and Ramcharitmanas to make religion in a very simple way accessible to the masses. We can realize that reading this book is completely voluntary. Now, it is neither a commandment nor a prescription of the priest. Its popularity is organic. Its ordinariness, it is so simple and ordinary, makes it sublime. Now, as we go on exploring this beautiful Hanuman Chalisa, we realize each line in this Chalisa allows us to leap, just like Hanuman, into the vast body of Hindu thought, a heritage of so many thousands of years ago. So all that we can leap back to that by reading this. Much as Hanuman leapt from his cradle, when he was a small baby, from his cradle, he leapt to the sun. Also later on, across the sea towards Lanka, or over land towards mountain bearing the Sanjeevini, Parvata with the Sanjeevini herb. But each time Hanuman would leap, it was only for the work of Lord Ram, and he would come back, always returning to find Lord Ramachandra. From the particular, we also can traverse the universal, and finally return to the personal like Hanuman. As you go through the 43 verses in this book, you will notice how sensitively the poet has structured his work, how it will create a temple in your mind and enshrines the deity in that temple, not only Hanuman, but also Lord Ramachandra, and how the verses take us from ideas of birth of Hanuman through the ideas of adventures of Hanuman and duty of Hanuman and glory of Hanuman. So that is Hanuman Chalisa. Now, let us, after this short and brief introduction, enter into proper Hanuman Chalisa. Again, we have not yet entered, we are not going to enter the proper Hanuman Chalisa because the first two dohas are only introduction. So what is the first one? Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nija Manu Mukur Sudhari Bharanau Raghuvar Bimala Jasu Jodayaku Phalachari. What is the simple meaning of this doha? Having polished my mind mirror. So Mukuru means mirror. So Mana Mukuru, mind mirror, having polished my mind mirror. So why should you polish the mirror? So that you can see your reflection properly in it. That's why we stand in front of the mirror. If the mirror is dirty, how can you see your reflection? But here, you don't want to see the reflection of your physical body, but you want to see the reflection of your Atman, your reality, not your physical, but the spiritual reality, that is the Paramatma Swarupa who is in your heart. For that, the mind mirror has to be polished. So how to polish that? Having polished my mind mirror with the pollen dust. Guru Charana Saroja Raja. Saroja means lotus. Charana means feet. So the feet is compared to the lotus. Charana Raja, the pollen grain, the dust, the pollen grain, with that we are polishing the mirror. So by the Guru's feet. So that is the meaning. Now we shall go into the depth of this thing. Why is Guru remembered in the beginning? Why should we remember? What is the necessity of remembering the Guru? So it was invoking the blessings of Guru. Guru here stands for the realized soul who has the human being who has realized God, whom we take him as the Guru. Now, we are not taking the Guru. The Guru selects us, just like birth and so many other things are not in our hand. Likewise, choosing the Guru is also not in your hand. The Guru, according to the will of the Lord, chooses us. So Guru should be always the human instrument who has realized God. So that is the Guru. Now we get Mantra Diksha and we follow his commandments and go forward in spiritual life. So he is the Guru who has already realized. So invoking the blessing of the Guru, when we start any new venture or anything for that sake, we have to first remember our Guru. We see that is our Hindu tradition. Even though Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, who is considered as the universal Guru, the Avatar Purusha, though he could realize Divine Mother Kali without the help of the Guru by his own self-effort, just to show to the world that there is the necessity of the Guru for all of us, he too later on accepted first the Bhairavi Brahmani, the woman as his Guru. Then we see so many Gurus come and teach him different aspects of spiritual life. So though he didn't want anything, he had got everything earlier, he too accepted Guru to show to all of us that you cannot go forward in spiritual life without the help of Guru. Now, again we can go to Ramayana itself. Now, when Ramachandra, Mother Sita and Lakshmana, they were walking through the forest when they came to the forest life, Vanavasa, they came to the ashrama of Bharadvaja Maharshi. So Bharadvaja Muni now was bringing, he knew how great Sri Ramachandra was. He was the Avatara, he was the Parabrahma Swarupa, the Godhead who had taken a human form. So he wanted to bring Lord Ramachandra to his disciples. He was taking him to one of his disciples' hut, cottage. Now the disciple saw his Guru is bringing Lord Ramachandra, Mother Sita and Lakshmana to his cottage. Now he was in a quandary. What shall I do now? Lord himself is coming with the mother of the universe, Sita, and Lakshmana, who is the avatara of Adishesha. Vishnu, Lord Vishnu is sleeping on that snake, 1,000-headed Adishesha, the divine serpent. His avatara was Adishesha, who had come to serve. So such great three personalities, the Paramatman himself is coming to my cottage. Now whom shall I go and prostrate first? He was confused what to do. As they were coming, immediately he forgot everything. He ran and first fell at the feet of his Guru. Then he did pranams to Ramachandra and all other people. Why? See, but for the Guru, the Lord would have not come to his cottage. It was the Guru who brought Lord Ramachandra to his cottage. Likewise, it is our Guru who brings the Lord to our cottage of the heart, the hut of our heart. So, we should always first remember Guru, without which we cannot progress forward in spiritual life. So, Gushabdasya Andakaraha Rushabdasya Nivaranam is the one who removes the darkness of ignorance and brings in light to our life. That is Guru, that is the meaning of, the literal meaning of Guru. I think Guru Purnima is fast approaching, then we will be discussing more about the Guru. Now, you all know about so many kings were there in India. One of the princely kingdom in India was Mysore. The Mysore Maharaja wanted to select few Pandit scholars who were well versed in Vedas as the court Pandit, as a scholar of the court in his palace. So he asked for an interview or a competition where they have to come and chant the mantras, Veda mantras. The best would be selected. So many people had assembled, so many great scholars came and they were chanting with perfection. All the best who had chanted the Vedas completely, memorized it and chanted it so perfectly, were not selected. But one ordinary person was not so very special like the other Pandits, but before starting his chanting, he started with the invocation or worship of his Guru. That's why you can see whenever I start a Vedic mantra, how do I start with? Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Then all the mantras, Sahana Bhavatu or Ganana Antva. Even Ganapati mantra, we have to remember Ganapati first. But even before that, we tell Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. So without the Guru, you cannot go forward. He is the one who removes our ignorance, who cleanses our mind. So why the mantra or the anything direction given by the Guru is so important? Because our mind is full of doubts. Everywhere we doubt and doubt everything. If you take some mantra, if you take some deity for yourself through some books or some Google, you go to the Google and you can get all the mantras and all the deities. You can take that and do it. You will not have faith. Today you will like this, tomorrow you will like another thing, another day, just like there is a terminology called idiot in the medical circle. So what is that meant by idiot in the medical circle? People go to the doctors, but before that they search the media or the internet for all their symptoms and medicine. Before the doctor prescribes them the medicine or search them, they will themselves tell this is the medicine, this is the symptom. So doctors have named it as idiot. That expansion of the idiot as of now, I have forgotten, I can give you in the next, or else if you go to the Google, you can get it. So now, likewise, if you take up any mantra or something from the Google or from the book, it doesn't help you, because today your mind will be here, there, and tomorrow another place, then it goes on changing, and you will never succeed in anything. But when you take the mantra from the Guru and go forward, you will have faith. That's why Swami Vivekananda, while writing that song, first he starts with about Ramakrishna, his Guru. He explains Samshaya Rakshasa Nasha Mahastram. What is he doing? What is the work of the Guru? The Asura, the demon called doubt, doubting Thomas. We are all doubting, everybody of us are doubting Thomases. We doubt and doubt everything. So Guru removes that Asura or demon of doubt from our mind and gives us faith. And when faith comes in the path and in the deity or Ishtadevata, then we can very quickly go forward in spiritual life. That's why that Mysore Maharaja selected that scholar who first told or bowed down to his Guru and then started the Vedic chanting. The great scholars were rejected, but a simple person who respected his Guru was selected. So without the Guru's help, you cannot go forward. That's why in the beginning, here Tulsidas ji is invoking his Guru. Tulsidas ji belonged to the Ramayata sadhus. If you go to North India or if you go to even South India, there is the Ramanuja Pantha, Vishishtadvaita. You can see they will be wearing 3 big marks on the forehead, Urdhva Poundra. Now, Swami Vivekananda's disciple, Alasinga Perumal, had that big thing worn on the head. So that group is called Ramayata Sadhu. Ramanujacharya had gone to the North India and there made disciple, and that sampradaya became very popular, and that sadhus who were there in North India, they were called Ramayata Sadhus. And our Tulsidas ji comes in that lineage, in that parampara, in that tradition. So now he is invoking or praying to his Guru, Sri Guru Charana Saroja Raja, invoking the blessings of the Guru. When we have to do something, anything new or anything spiritual practice or any practice, we should remember our Guru. Like Ganapati and Saraswati, we do that. Now, Shri, you can see that just like in English you add Mr., Mrs. and so many other things before writing the name. So it is just like an adjective or a respectful way of addressing your Guru. That's why you see when we repeat the name of your Guru, suppose I have to repeat my Guru, I don't just tell his name. I will add Paramapujya Srimad Swami. So that Guru's name will be added. So many people will be there, though they will not even utter loudly the name. Within they do that. But if you utter, they add Paramapujya Srimad Swami like that here. To show his respect, he is adding Shri. So Shri Guru is added here as respect. Any other reason? Yes. Shri also means Lakshmi. Shri Guru here, who is empowered by Mother Lakshmi, who is the now Sita Devi Avatara. She is the avatar of Mother Lakshmi. So here Shri can be told as the empowered by Mother Sita Devi. Tulsidas ji belongs to Ramayata Sampradaya. So he was a great devotee of Ramachandra. That may be also the reason. Now, the dust of the lotus feet. Why should we take the dust of the lotus feet? The dust of the feet or the ground is itself dirty. How will you take dirt to clean another dirt of your mind? This is the physical dirt, the dust of the Guru. Taking the physical dirt, the dust of the feet or the ground, how can you clean your mind which is dirty? It looks very peculiar, isn't it? How can we clean that? So now, let us find out what is the reason for Tulsidas ji using the word Guru Charana Saroja Raja, the dust of the lotus feet of the Guru. Now, while he is using it to cleanse his mind, something which is pure. What is the foot dust? That is not a normal dust. It is not an ordinary dust, but it is the divine dust. I will give you an example. Swami Vivekananda used to tell, when somebody proclaimed him as so great, and Ramakrishna, his guru, was very ordinary, not so educated in the external sense, very simple, living a very ordinary life, hidden to the world. But Vivekananda was blazing like a blazing sun, world famous. So, you know how he showed his humility? He told, with a single dust of Sri Ramakrishna, my Guru's feet, he can produce, Ramakrishna, with his single dust of his feet, he can produce thousands of Vivekananda. Not one. With the single dust of Sri Ramakrishna's feet, he tells he can produce thousands of Vivekananda. That is the power of the dust of the feet of the Guru. So that is so divine a dust. That is the case with Vivekananda. Then what us, millions like us can be produced by the Guru's dust. So that's why it is not ordinary dust. Then what would be the deeper meaning if we go read between the line? We Hindus have the tradition of taking the foot dust of the elders, the parents, the gurus, the teacher, to show respect. So how can we show respect? By touching the feet or taking the dust. What does that mean? Now, suppose you are wearing your best attire, suit and boot. You've gone to your university, all your other colored, different friends are there in the university, your teachers, all the best officials, the whites, the Africans, you, everybody are there, let us hope. Then your guru comes or somebody, parents come. Will you dare to go and touch the feet and take the dust in front of them? Why? Because you will be always thinking, what will they think of me? Because you think your ego is important. They will think I'm a fool. I'm taking the dust of another person. So your ego prevents from doing so. So here, taking the dust of the feet of Sri Ramakrishna or your guru is, or any elder is, you are showing your humility. You become humble. Humility. The first and foremost sign of spiritual life is humility. That's why in Sanskrit verse it is told, Vidya dadati vinayam. As you get more and more knowledge, what is the symptom that you are gaining wisdom and knowledge? See, we get ego. Oh, I have got a degree, master degree, PhD. I become so egoistic. But on the contrary, our Sanskrit verse tells, scriptures tells, Vidya dadati vinayam. If you get true knowledge, wisdom, then you have to become more and more humble and humble. Why? Let us take the beautiful sentence of Newton. When Newton was praised by somebody, how great a scientist, how so much of knowledge you have gained. Even now, he was 200 or some 100 years back, a great scientist of that period. Even now, Newton is believed to be one of the greatest scientists. Then imagine how great he was at that time. When somebody praised him out of humility, he told, what? You call me great, knowledgeable person? I'm just picking pebbles, stone pieces on the shore of knowledge. I'm just picking pebbles. I've picked just a few pebbles, that's all. That is my knowledge. I've not even touched the ocean of knowledge. Just I have picked some pebbles. So when you learn, when you get more and more knowledge, what happens is you become more humble. Why? My God, I have to learn so much. I've learned only this much. Even hundreds and thousands of life is not sufficient to exhaust the amount of knowledge in your one department. Take music, take arts, take medical science or anything, even to exhaust that one small department of your knowledge, it may take lives together. Then you will become humble. My God, how much have I gained? What is my proportion of the knowledge? Nothing. Then you become more humble. My God, I know very little. Then your ego vanishes. Because your ego vanishes, you will get more space, capacity to gain more knowledge. Vidya dadati vinayam. Knowledge, gaining more knowledge should make you more humble. Why? Then vinayat yanti patratvat. By humility, you gain capacity in your mind or heart to get more and more knowledge, grace of God. That's why first Sri Guru Charana Saroja Raja means not just taking the feet, dust only. Yes, that is an indication. What is the real meaning? Should become more humble. Ego should be crushed. Removal of ego is the main thing. I heard recently, few years back, one of the very senior devotee told, what? I should clean the toilet. You know who I am? I'm such a great official. Should I clean the toilet? See, coming here, we develop so much of that complex nature. We should become more humble. We should be ready to do the work of the Lord. Why? Because the devotees who come here are different aspects of our Ishtadevata, whom we have to serve. The menial service. When Brahmanandaji went to one of the temple in Kashi, he told when he took the broom and started sweeping and doing all the menial work, he developed so much of spiritual joy within. He came and expressed it. So when you do the menial service of the Guru, of the Ishtadevata, of the temple and of the devotees, that will give you more capacity to receive the grace of the Lord. So let us not become egoistic. That is the idea of Sri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Mana Mukura Sudhar. Your mind, the heart will get cleansed by that. That is humility. So we have, with this idea of the first line of Hanuman Chalisa, we will stop here, remembering and meditating. If you want to go inside, then we should become humble. With an egoistic heart, you cannot station Hanuman in your heart or Ramachandra or any deity in your heart. With one example of Sri Ramakrishna, I will close. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell, the grace of God will be like rain. It will be always showering on you. When there is a ditch or a space inside, culvert, then it can collect, the water can collect. If it is covered by a rock or a mound, even though God is showering the rain of His grace, it will flow over. When the mound of ego is there in your heart, then the grace, though always showered by God, will flow away. When there is the vessel, when there is capacity in the form of humility, then it will get collected. So, in the mound of ego, the grace doesn't stay, it will run away. So you cannot, because already ego is occupying your heart. So Lord cannot come, He cannot manifest in your heart. So the beginning of Hanuman Chalisa is become humble, Vinayata. Then only you can get the grace of Lord Hanuman. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. We will continue the same, taking up one by one, word by word of Hanuman Chalisa, reading between the line, going to the deeper aspect of Hanuman Chalisa, and getting the meditation and grace of Lord Hanuman.